Look, it's been 6 months, and we're starting up with Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. The quicker we get through this, the better. Lyric gets the Snake fruit. Which one? I don't know, pick one. Both seem to fit him pretty well since, he's a giant-ass snake. Lyric does have other powers like being able to control robots, shoot lasers, and levitate, but it seems like his mechanical suit is the main reason he can do most of those things. We'll never truly know because we'll never see him again. Yet another Sonic character that made their debut in the Boom era. Despite making an appearance in Rise of Lyric, she's only playable in the 3DS games. Other than being a bit of a schizophrenic, there isn't really much power-wise that makes her stand out from previous Sonic characters, other than her weapon of choice. Six uses boomerangs primarily for combat. Think Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, but if he was the Badger instead, and that's basically Six. The best fruit I can think to give her is the Mark fruit, which lets the user throw anything at a target they've previously touched from anywhere in the world. They can mark individual targets based on the number of hands they have, so for most normal people, including Six, it'd just be 2. While obviously not the most practical fruit to use for a long-range fighter, being able to tag someone and not miss your shot ever again no matter where you are is a pretty sweet perk. Sonic Mania, yet another attempt to recapture the nostalgia of classic Sonic. Except this time it was developed by people that actually cared about making a fun classic Sonic game. Yeah, Sonic Mania really was the highlight of 2017 for Sonic, wasn't it? Not only were Knuckles and Tails playable again, but they even added Mighty and Ray later down the line too. However, we'll be focusing on an elite group of egg robos that debut in this game, being the hard-boiled heavies. While they were initially just your standard egg robos, it's confirmed that after being amped up by the Phantom movie, they each developed a mind of their own, even going so far as to betray Eggman when the time came for it. Heavy Gunner is the team's weapon specialist, so he gets the arms fruit, since he's constantly raining down firepower upon you during his boss fight. Heavy Magician is the master of illusions and trickery, but she mainly just disguises herself as other characters while copying their abilities. So either the clone fruit or the Kopi no Mi can be given to her in this situation. Heavy Rider doesn't really have much else going for her other than strength since she wields a giant mace while riding a motor bug, so I guess the strong fruit goes to her. Heavy Shinobi's an interesting one since he mainly uses ninja weaponry, but he can freeze you solid with his sword, so the Ice fruit is a viable pick for him based on that. Last but certainly not least is the leader of the group, Heavy King. His main gimmick is absorbing energy from things like the Master Emerald and Phantom Ruby to amp himself up even more. The closest fruit I can think of that does that is the Dark fruit, which can absorb and nullify other Devil Fruit powers, as well as turning the user into a makeshift black hole for a good measure. Heavy King seems the most power hungry out of this group, so I think it fits him pretty well. Next up is King Dodonpa.
Who?
Now I'm not alone, a family of my own. I get to go home with you. Feelings deep inside come flowing from my eyes. I get to go home with you. All the lights up in the sky, all the times that I spent by your side taught me love and taught me pain. Things that I could never have explained. Now I'm not alone.
Okay, so there's a bit of a problem here. Sage is in a completely unique category for a Sonic character since she's not human nor a robot, instead being Eggman's AI that gains sentience. While she does have a variety of abilities, it was tough to give her a specific Devil Fruit, since her most notable trait is her immense intelligence and her omnipotence over the Starfall Islands themselves. She can process a multitude of simulations to find solutions to problems, which kinda sounds similar to clairvoyance, which falls in line with observation hockey. At least, that's the best thing I can give her. Observation hockey is all about perceiving things no normal person would be able to do, and Sage is constantly observing and learning throughout the game, so I think it makes sense for her. Hey, remember Sonic Mania? Let's Mario Wonder that shit. Sonic Superstars was Sega's attempt at recapturing the nostalgia of classic Sonic. Again, for like the 4th time. When it launched, people said it was good. Not $60 worth good, but the reception seemed mostly positive. Heck, they even brought back Fang, and also included a new character named Trip, who everybody thought was pretty cool. She can stick to walls, spit out fire, and when she gets all 7 Chaos Emeralds, she turns into a dragon. Wow, this got a lot easier. Speaking of Sonic Mania, I can't help but feel like I've forgotten someone.
Not even Sonic will be able to stand against me now.
Sonic Forces really was the low point of 2017 for Sonic, wasn't it? Mr. I am not weak is the main villain of Sonic Forces. Or at least, he was supposed to be. Seriously, dude couldn't even make final boss status. Disappointment aside, Infinite himself has a pretty sick design and just as equally sick powers. After being fused with the Phantom Ruby, or at least a replica of it, Infinite gained the gem's power over reality itself. Well, virtual reality. It's a little complicated, but basically Infinite can essentially create constructs that are technically illusions, but force those that are affected to perceive them as real. Shadow even states that these constructs have mass and form, even going as far as to create an entire army if he wanted to. He can even rip a hole to null space, a dimension that is supposedly an empty void where he can trap people, assuming they don't break out like 5 seconds later. Leaning more towards the illusion aspect, the Viso Viso fruit lets the user create an illusion from any image they've touched. Illusions created from this power can interact with the real world and even contain the same abilities as the original. However, the user has to touch the image in order to create the illusion. Leaning more towards the reality manipulation aspect, I decided to choose the Sing Sing fruit. This stupidly OP fruit allows the user to transport the consciousness of whoever hears them sing into a virtual world of the user's creation. While trapped in that world, the targets are pretty much at the mercy of the user, who pretty much plays the role of God. Not only that, but the user can also manipulate the target's unconscious bodies as puppets, even utilizing their abilities as well. The only countermeasure against this is to plug your ears to prevent hearing their music, or if already trapped, hope they fall asleep or lose consciousness. Now, obviously Infinite isn't much of a singer, but these felt like the closest Devil Fruits to accurately portray his powers. Oh, wow. I totally forgot that game existed. I haven't played Sonic Dream Team for obvious reasons, so from what little information I know about Arium, I think she's a worthy candidate of the Sing Sing fruit too. Oh, that was a little anticlimactic. Finally caught up with all the games too. Although, we're technically not done. We've still got one last batch of characters to include. Sorry this video took longer to make than the last one. I took forever to finish Persona 3, which is a good game by the way, you should totally play it. Until then, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully sooner than 6 months.